Today we're going to go over the process of re-slinging our 7720 sling chaise. The tools required for this process are going to be a 7/16 driver, a 5/16 driver, a rubber mallet, a flathead screwdriver, angled cutters, our telescope sling starters, our telescope spreader tool, and for this process we're also going to be using a 12-inch grip clamp and a 36-inch grip clamp. So the first step, I'm going to take my flathead screwdriver. I'm going to remove all 4 seat rail caps from the chaise. Once we get all 4 of those caps removed, we'll set them aside. Now I'm going to take my 5/16 driver and I'm going to remove one of the fasteners from one side of this stretcher bar. And I'm going to remove the fastener completely and set it aside. Now I'm ready to flip the chaise over and we'll work to take the tension off the bottom sling of our chaise here. So I'll go back to my 5/16. Same thing like on the back. There's a stretcher here. We're going to remove one of the fasteners completely and we're going to set it aside. Now we're going to go to our 5/16 and we're going to remove, our 7/16, and we're going to remove one of the 7/16 fasteners here in the middle of the chaise, holding the chaise bed to the leg assembly. We're going to remove that completely. Now sandwiched in between the leg assembly and the seat rail assembly is a spacer. We're going to remove that spacer as well. So we'll take the spacer and fastener and we'll set those aside. Now we're going to go to our telescope spreader tool. And I'm going to use this tool to remove this stretcher bar here. So in close proximity to the stretcher bar, I'm going to place it seat rail to seat rail. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to remove that bar completely and set it aside. Now I'm going to come down here to the foot of the chaise and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to spread it until I can clear this bracket that runs across the bottom of the chaise. And what that's going to do is that's going to take, again, the sling off tension for us, which is going to make it easier to work. Well, I've got the chaise in this position. I'm going to take my 36-inch clamp and in close proximity to where the hinge for the back meets the chaise bed, I'm going to place this clamp on the chaise bed portion of the seat rail. I'm just going to give it a couple cranks, again, to help remove the tension from the sling and make it easier to slide that replacement in. Whoops. Now that we've got it flipped over, I'm going to take my 12-inch clamp and I'm going to just grip the chaise, clamp the chaise to the workstation here, just to help hold everything in place for me. So now I can go ahead and I can remove my existing slings. These will slide right out. I'll take my sling starter and I'll just place it into the end of my seat rail here, one on each side. I'm going to take my replacement sling. Line it up so that both sides are started evenly. And slide it right up. Once we get it all the way in, we'll remove our sling starters. If there's any excess dowel that's sticking out here when we slide the sling down flush to our caps, we'll cut that off with our angle cutter. And we can go ahead and reinstall our seat rail caps. Now we can go ahead and we can remove this clamp. And we'll do the chaise back. I'll grab my spreader bar here. Just going to spread this apart. to get it off tension. The existing sling will slide out. I'll grab my sling starters. Place those on the ends of my seat rail. Get the replacement sling. Start it evenly. Slide it all the way down. Once it's in, I can pop off my sling starters. Again, if I've got any excess dowel showing here, I can trim that with my angle cutters. Now I'm ready to reinstall my seat rail caps. Okay, now I'm ready to put the sling back under tension. Right back here where I just was. Take my spreader bar, put this stretcher back in place. This is going to be our 5/16. And we can go ahead and we can unclamp the chaise from the table. We're done with our clamps. We'll flip it over to access the bottom. We'll come here in the middle first with our stretcher bar and our spreader tool. In close proximity to the location of the bar, we'll spread that apart. We'll come down here to the foot of the chaise. We want to make sure that our sling is slid all the way down tight to our seat rail caps. And then in close proximity to this support bar, we'll spread using our stretcher tool. And this will be our last 5/16. And now we can go to our 7/8 with our spacer. The spacer is going to go in between the leg assembly and the seat rail. And our 7/16 driver will tighten that completely. And that will complete the re-sling process of our 7720 sling chaise.